Welcome to the deep dive. We've got something really special lined up for you today.
We really do.
For anyone who's followed us, you'll know we have this long-standing connection with
Oh,
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo, yeah. Not just any astrologer.
Exactly. Astrologer, tarot reader, prophet.
Yeah.
Honestly, his insights in our own lives have just been remarkable.
Oh, absolutely. Our trust in him, it runs deep. We've seen it firsthand. The accuracy, the depth. It's more than just prediction.
It's a real understanding of the cycles.
Yes.
Yeah.
And because we trust him so much.
We wanted to share something, well, unique. Today we're giving you Lorenzo's complete monthly forecast for Cancer for May 2025, exactly as he wrote it.
Verbatim. No summaries, no takes, no leaving bits out. We want you to get the full picture.
And the title he gave it. Wow, it sets the tone.
It really does. Your isolation ends in power. Secret agendas, spiritual authority, and a wild social reset. And then he adds, the most detailed, blunt, and prophetic breakdown you'll find.
Gives you chills, doesn't it? He's not messing around.
Not at all. And the main theme he lays out, it's fascinating.
He sees May 2025 for Cancer as this major initiation, starting deep in the 12th house,
Right,
the hidden stuff,
right.
the subconscious.
The behind-the-scenes place.
And then it culminates by the end of the month with this kind of crowning in the 10th house of career and public image.
So it's a journey from the depths to the heights.
Exactly. And this whole process, Lorenzo says, it's going to expose everything. Faith, fears, finances, friendships, all of it.
To ultimately reveal Cancer's spiritual authority, their
Well-
true power.
So yeah, if you're a Cancer or you know a Cancer,
Yeah.
you need to listen closely.
Okay, let's dive right into week 1, April 28th to May 5th. The title is, The Revolution Starts in Your Circle, and Your Wallet Pays the Price.
Ooh. Okay, so Lorenzo starts with the new moon in Taurus, April 28th. That's in the 11th house for Cancer.
The house of friends, groups, hopes, dreams.
Right, and Lorenzo puts it bluntly, quote, you thought they were allies. They're competition.
Wow, straight out the gate.
Yeah. And this new moon, it's making challenging angles, squares with Mars.
In the second house, money, values.
Pluto in the 8th, shared resources, transformation, secrets.
And Lilith in the 5th. Creativity, pleasure, self-expression, that's a lot of tension.
It really is. So this alignment suggests, friendships, money, creative projects, even your social standing, it's all under the microscope.
Lorenzo expects disruptions, right? Like in financial deals, online stuff, group projects.
Yes, exactly. Potential friction, big time.
And he warns about things coming out, like jealousy, control.
Uh-huh. Power plays within those circles. Then he drops this line, you're no longer the nurturer here. You're the storm they underestimated.
Okay, that's a definite shift in energy for Cancer.
Definitely. Then, May 5th, Pluto goes retrograde.
Okay, so Pluto appearing to move backward. That always brings stuff up from the depths, doesn't it?
Always. Lorenzo says hidden agendas may be about money, inheritance, sex, intimacy, power. They're going to resurface.
And his advice?
Firm. Quote, this time you don't flinch. Confront it head on.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Summing up week 1.
Lorenzo says, you're unmasking fake friends and transforming your concept of value, both personal and financial. Cancer's worth is no longer up for debate.
So tough realizations, but necessary ones. Setting boundaries.
Exactly. Leading into week 2, May 6th to 13th, the buried self begins to rise.
Okay, what's happening here?
Well, Venus enters the 10th and 11th houses around May 6th. Career, public image, social scene.
Right, and then Mercury follows, 10th to 12th.
Activating those same areas, yeah. So Lorenzo suggests professional charm might return, but he adds a caution. Don't overpromise.
Okay, manage expectations and potential friction, too, with bosses or colleagues.
Yeah, especially if they underestimate Cancer's abilities. And watch out around May 12th, Mercury squares Pluto.
Communication planet meets transformation planet in a tense way.
Lorenzo flags potential manipulation within group projects being revealed then, so stay sharp.
Got it. Then the full moon.
May 13th, full moon in Scorpio, 5th house, creativity, romance, passion.
Lorenzo calls this. What was it?
Your creative resurrection. He's very clear. This full moon connects harmoniously trines Saturn in the North Node in Pisces in the 9th.
Philosophy, higher learning, travel.
Yeah.
Long-term direction.
And it opposes Uranus in the 11th, the planet of surprises and breakthroughs in the social sphere.
Okay, so what does that combination mean, according to Lorenzo?
It suggests a dream, maybe one you thought was dead could come back, but
There's a catch.
it depends on your willingness to, defy the norm. Think outside the box, maybe even challenge your friends or groups.
Interesting. What about romance or projects?
Oh, yeah, he definitely mentions that. Says this full moon could signal the arrival of a really significant partner or a major creative project,
Huh.
possibly through spiritual connections or maybe even international ones. And he specifically notes for anyone looking to conceive literally or metaphorically, this is a potent time.
Wow. Okay, so passion, art.
Destiny, that's how he puts it.
And his summary for week 2.
It's all about authenticity. Quote, you're choosing art over algorithm, soulmates over followers, and truth over approval. Get ready to say, I'd rather lose fake support than dim my magic.
Powerful. Choosing integrity over popularity.
Exactly. Which leads us to week 3, May 14th to 20th. Title, The Ghosts Start Talking Back.
Okay, spooky. What does that mean?
Well, May 17th, the sun conjuncts Uranus in that 11th house again.
Sun meeting the planet surprises.
Yes.
In the house of friends and groups.
Lorenzo says this could mean a sudden departure. Maybe a friend just vanishes from your life. Or a completely unexpected offer from someone you'd never expect. Uranus does that shakes things up.
Right. And the next day, May 18th.
Mercury squares Mars, communication planet versus action-aggression planet.
Uh-oh. Sounds like arguments.
Lorenzo warns, quote, verbal explosions over money, resources, or accusations of stolen credit at work. So, yeah, tread carefully with words that day.
Good advice. Then the energy shifts.
Big shift around May 20th. The sun moves into Gemini, entering Cancer's 12th house.
The house of secrets, solitude, the subconscious.
Exactly. And it makes a nice connection, a sextile, with Saturn. Lorenzo sees this as a turn inward. Introspection, solitude, intuition gets louder.
But he clarifies something, doesn't he?
Yes, very important. He says, now the real work begins. Silence, solitude, dreams, downloads. You're not isolated, you're being whispered to by spirit, and they're loud.
So it's not about hiding, it's about listening. Deep listening.
Precisely. His summary for week 3. The ego battles outside go quiet, but your inner world lights up. This is spiritual strategy, not escape.
Using that quiet time productively for inner alignment.
You got it. Which brings us to week 4, May 21st to 27th. The title, Spiritual Strategy, Real World Power.
Okay, connecting the inner work to outer results. How?
Lorenzo points to a really significant complex planetary alignment between May 22nd and 27th.
Which planets?
The Sun, Mercury, Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto all interacting across the 10th house, career, 12th house, subconscious, and 8th house, shared resources transformation.
Wow, that's a major convergence. Spanning career, spirit, deep psyche, shared stuff.
Yeah, he says it signifies this deep, synchronized transformation happening across all those levels, spiritual, professional, even ancestral patterns.
So what can Cancer expect during this time?
Revelations. Secrets coming out, maybe through dreams or just strong gut feelings. He says you'll get clarity on who or what's been draining your energy.
And how to fix it.
And how to reverse that dynamic, yes. His advice, simple. Quiet planning pays off. Use those insights strategically.
Makes sense. And then there's a massive event on May 26th.
Oh, huge. Saturn enters Aries, moves into Cancer's 10th house of career and public life. First time in almost 30 years.
29 years, yeah. Lorenzo really flags this one, doesn't he?
He really does. He says, quote, this is major. You're being called to lead, but not the way they expect. Not through status, through integrity, authority, mastery.
So leadership based on substance, not just position.
Exactly. And then he connects it back to the inner work. Everything you've been hiding, your visions, gifts, psychic knowing, is now the core of your career path.
Wow. So the hidden strengths become the professional foundation.
That's the message. Okay, finally, the last few days. May 28th to 31st, the unseen becomes unstoppable.
Sounds powerful. What kicks this off?
A new moon in Gemini on May 28th, again in that 12th house.
Still in that deep hidden zone.
Yes, but this new moon is conjunct Mercury, trine Pluto, sextile Saturn, and Neptune. Lots of supportive energy.
And Lorenzo calls this.
This is your private revolution with certainty.
Who feels this most?
He specifies, if you're an intuitive, healer, guide, artist, or mystic, prepare for a surge in downloads, client potential, and spiritual clarity.
Okay, big boost for those folks. What about others?
For others, it's a deep cleanse. Addictions, fears, illusions burned away. So purification and strengthening intuition across the board.
Powerful ending to the month. And May 30th.
Sun conjunct Mercury, close alignment. Lorenzo says you will speak the truth you were born to deliver.
Finding your voice from that deep place.
Yes. And he adds, expect a dream, vision, or sign that alters your direction entirely. So stay open to messages.
Okay. Lorenzo's final word for the month.
It challenges the stereotype of Cancer, he says. Everyone thinks Cancer is soft. In May 2025, they meet the version of you who doesn't ask for permission anymore.
Mm,
You don't need to be seen to be dangerous. Your energy speaks louder than your words, and they'll feel it even when you're silent.
that's intense.
Yeah.
Powerful presence without needing to shout.
Exactly. Then he gives these amazing takeaways. You ready?
Lay them on us.
You're not ghosting them. You're resurrecting yourself.
Ooh, good one.
Your next career isn't a job. It's your spiritual assignment.
Connecting work and soul purpose. Yeah.
You didn't lose friends. You dropped parasites.
Blunt. Classic Lorenzo.
Totally. This May, your silence becomes your power. And finally, everyone will regret underestimating the Cancer who went quiet.
Wow.
Yeah.
That last one.
Mm.
Chilling in a good way.
Right. And then he assures Cancer listeners, and this is so specific, yes, you're about to get your wow moment, and not one single mainstream astrologer will catch this because they don't dare look this deep into your destruction codes.
Instruction codes. Okay,
Mhm.
now we're getting into even deeper layers.
Exactly. This leads to a section he titles, The Hidden Exorcism of Your Past Self. 8th, 12th House Resurrection, May 2025.
He thinks others are missing something crucial here.
Yes. He explains, and I'm quoting Lorenzo directly here, you are completing a karmic cycle that began 29 years ago, back when Saturn was last in Aries, 1996, 1999, and you were forced to grow up in public before you were ready.
Ah, connecting it back to that previous Saturn and Aries cycle.
Right, he continues, you wore the mask of maturity, responsibility, maybe parentification. But this month, as Saturn re-enters Aries on May 26 and aligns with the Gemini new moon in your 12th, the mask finally melts.
So it's about dismantling an old persona built back then.
Precisely. Not about typical success, but shedding a false identity created for survival or acceptance.
Like what kind of identity?
He gives examples. The good girl boy role, the caretaker, the nice one, the spiritual one, the martyr. Roles maybe you felt you had to play.
I think many people can relate to that feeling.
For sure. And Lorenzo is emphatic. That's what's dying now, quietly, invisibly, but completely.
Wow.
And it had to die alone. That's why you're in the 12th house abyss for most of May. You can't detox in public. You had to do it in the dark.
Okay, that explains the intensity of the solitude theme.
Exactly. Because what's coming in June is your rise to true power. Not borrowed power, not corporate roles, not family validation, but sovereign, soul-level authority.
Real, authentic power from within, not dependent on external approval.
That's the core of it. Then he dives into another layer. The deep wound activation. Chiron, Jupiter, Saturn timeline jump.
Okay, Chiron, the wounded healer. Jupiter expanding things. Saturn bringing structure and karma. What's this about?
Between May 10th and 20th, Chiron in Aries connects nicely with Jupiter in Gemini, right as Saturn changes signs. Lorenzo says this alignment will, quote, rip open the wound of having had to perform for love.
Oof, that deep wound of feeling like love was conditional.
Yeah. He says it'll be intense for those who felt that from parents or carried family burdens young or even feel unfulfilled now despite achieving things.
It touches a really fundamental place.
It really does. But then, here comes the Lorenzo magic twist.
What is it?
Quote, but here's the hidden miracle. This wound is your new profession.
Whoa, the wound becomes the work.
Yes. He says by that Gemini new moon on May 28th, the pain transforms into your life's mission. And the people who underestimated you, they won't even see it coming.
Because you're operating on a totally different level, building something intangible but powerful.
Exactly, building resilience from the inside out.
Amazing. So his final conclusion.
He titles it, The Wow That Shuts Everyone Up.
Okay.
And he emphasizes, with that conviction we know so well from him, Cancer, this isn't a reset. This is the quiet moment before your coronation. And May 2025 will be remembered as the month you erased the lie and became the oracle.
Became the oracle. Shedding the false self to embrace true wisdom.
Yes, his very last words. Not for validation, not for applause, but because you finally remembered who you were before the world told you to be someone else.
Just, wow, that lands deep.
It really does. So there you have it. That was Lorenzo's complete, unfiltered forecast for Cancer, May 2025.
And knowing Lorenzo, knowing his track record, we felt it was just crucial to share it exactly like that, word for word.
Absolutely. Because our own experiences with his guidance have been so profound.
Yeah. And the themes are just so powerful, aren't they? That deep inner work, uncovering secrets, the financial shifts, the relationship shifts.
And ultimately, stepping into this authentic spiritual authority, it's undeniable in his words. We really feel this is a huge month for
A
Cancer.
pivotal month for sure.
It definitely gives you, if you're a Cancer listening, so much to think about. Like, what are those masks Lorenzo talks about? The ones you might still be wearing.
Right. And what potential is lying dormant inside you, waiting for this kind of energy to break through?
Could that quiet, maybe even isolating inner work you're doing now actually be the foundation for your biggest power move yet?
It's a fascinating thought. We'll definitely be watching with interest to see how this unfolds for Cancers in May.
Absolutely. A lot to ponder there.